They are not adults that don't greet because they have malice against you.
Hi everyone, you're welcome to Olivia Post channel, and today we are with a special guest. Of course, you've seen her in our video. Yeah, she was in one of the videos we made actually that she spoke about the two schools.
Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm Olivia Posh friend.
Yeah, so we are back again to discuss a very necessary topic, and I feel like Stephanie here is very opinionated person. Like, when she has an opinion, she stands by it and she says it loudly. So the topic is about parenting. You know, a whole lot of things has been going on these days in Nigeria, and we'll talk about the recent bullying that circulated the internet, and everybody was just screaming, how can someone's child do that to another person's child? So I want to talk about parenting, like in general. The younger generations, when they come up and they give birth, can they be able to raise children the way our parents and the older generation raised us? So yeah, that's the topic we're about to talk about right now, parenting. So Steph, when someone say parenting, what comes to your mind first?
Okay, I feel parenting is more of like, surely a parent is surely someone that has a child. So parenting is like someone guiding their child. Like I feel like you can just guide your child the way you can. Like, everybody has their own way of parenting. So individually, you guiding your child to the extent and to the way you know you can. I feel that is what parenting is mainly about.
Okay. Me personally, I think parenting is just a way of bringing up a child. Just like what you said, it could be a good way, it could be a bad way, but just bringing up a child in general is what I feel parenting is all about. Steph, I also want to ask, like, between what do you think there is the difference between the older generation when it comes to upbringing and now? Do you think it's the same thing? Do you think they're getting it wrong? Like, what's your opinion about it?
Yeah, okay. Okay, if it's now generation and like the older generation really, I would say that they were very strict. But if you hear from our parents, you know, their parents were not like actually invested in their life like that due to like financial this thing, but like due to school wise. And just say, yeah.
Sorry, they were not invested in our lives.
No, in their own, like older. I'm talking about older generation.
Okay.
Like, if you hear from your parents, you will know that like your parents, their grandparents weren't that invested in their school life, but they were more invested in house upbringing, how they follow them to farm. Like, you must do it. You cannot tell your parents no. If not, you will chop shit.
Yeah.
So like, but school, some of them don't even know like where their children went to school, what they did when they went to school. But immediately you enter your father's house, you are behaving well. Like, that one you cannot misbehave. They are really invested in that one. Even though your father married 2 wives, those 2 wives, their children, he will really be invested in their house upbringing. But even though he doesn't have money, he will not really know, like, even though you don't have money to pay school fees, he will not know the school you are paying your school fees. He will really not care like that. But like, he can be asking questions, but school wise, because school was not really like so serious then, so I don't blame them. But I feel like they were very strict that time due to house. But I feel like they're kind of balancing it, but we're not very strict now. But we're balancing, like, we're more invested in our children now than them, both school, financially, everything, house. But being strict how they were in the olden days, I feel like even in the olden days, kind of a father will even use stone, and you're not killing your child, but like stick to hit your child, flogging. But this one, they have to look for cane before they flog you. You understand? Like, they cannot use stick and hit you. Like, it's not possible. Like, they just have that conscience to be mild in being so strict. Why punishing you or something like that? So I feel now they're invested in a lot of places in their child, but they are not as strict as they were in home upbringing. like
Yeah.
the olden days.
But do you think like strictness is the solution? Because from the look of things, for example, when I traveled to Makodi, I was somewhere with Oluchi and we were getting something. We were actually purchasing something. A very young child. The boy is not even up to 10 years. The boy just came. And before them, we just cornered us just like that. Like, I was so shocked. I was just looking at this boy like, is it that you don't know your elders? Do you understand? And then today you were telling me something about like where you guys went for work sites and all that, and those children couldn't even greet. So all these things are small issues that if it was in our own time, or would I even say like back then, you dare not pass somebody that is older than you without greeting. You dare not come inside where they're selling something and you want to get something. You're supposed to at least recognize those people that are older than you.
Yeah.
So do you think that strictness is like, it was a positive impact to the children, as of maybe let's say us or the older generation, like bringing up children? Do you think now that parents are not strict is spoiling things?
I feel like, one thing with children, no matter how you teach them, sometimes they do things unknowingly.
Okay.
Especially as a small child. So like, I feel like when you know your child does something, either you notice he did not greet an elder in front of you, and you just, sometimes some parents will notice it, but they'll keep quiet about it. And that is you. It's not like if the child is intentionally being disrespectful. They are not adults that don't greet because they have malice against you. So no, some of them do it unintentional. It's just they don't even greet you, not because they hate, especially a very small child. It's not like if they hate this this elder, or they hate this person. No, it's not like an elderly person not greeting an elderly person, not saying hi because yes, you hate this person.
That they don't know.
Some
they
of
were
them
not told.
Some of them, they don't do it intentionally, but when they don't do it intentionally in front of you and you don't correct them, sometimes even you correcting them once doesn't make them like get used to greeting a habit. One thing with good things, like good things, is very hard for you to make it a habit, and greeting is a good thing, which makes it difficult to make it a habit. Not only greeting, respecting an elder is a good thing, which makes it difficult to make it a habit. So when you are correcting a child, I feel like it's something you should continuously, like, especially if the person is in front of an elderly person and the person is not greeting, greet this person, are you not seeing? If you tell them once, 2 times, they will get you. Immediately they repeat that. Immediately say greet. Even from a small child from 2, you say, baby, say good morning, ma. And you continue to tell her, say good morning. She will get, even without you saying, she will tell the elderly person good morning, ma, 5 times. Even though she has greeted you. So I feel like, as when someone is small, you have to make them doing good thing a continuous thing, to make so they can make it a habit. If not, some of them, because batting is easy to learn, like let's just be frank with ourselves, batting is easy for you to make it a habit. So when they don't do something unintentionally and you don't correct them over and over again, and sometimes, if you want to correct them the second time, most times in church, even all these children that like goes around every time, you see some of their parents even slapping them. I don't believe like you hitting your child to stop walking around makes the child stop. Like, I feel like there's an extent, there are some things, if the child is running around with his fellow mates, he's a child, she's a child, you should leave it. It's when she's going past your
eyesight.
Yes, your eyesight, you can drag the person, sit the person down. Like, there's how you like scold at the person, see the person. If the person should do it again, you say, you drag her again, scold at her, like say, don't leave me. Do you want to get lost? You can even tell her how, sometimes small children listen. You can say, they are kidnappers, what's for
they learn, but you don't even
dangers are everywhere. So I feel continuously correcting your child in something, you must not hit the person. But I feel like sometimes flogging does not make you a bad parent. It's necessary in parenting. In flogging your child, but not, as we said, nowadays I feel like we don't use stick to flog.
Yeah.
We flog, you must use something that will not wound the
Not hurt
child.
the child.
Yeah, but will teach him a lesson. Like it's something he will remember. Like, oh, I was being flogged. So I feel like if you shout at a child in a nice way, or you flog him in a little way, depending on how like big their crime is,
Yeah.
and continuously, they will get, especially when they are small, it will be hard for them to like go to that part.
Okay, so what you're trying to say in general is that strictness is not necessarily the solution.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like sometimes it's like to be a strict parent is necessary. Like that doesn't make it bad. You should be strict with your child, but don't be too strict, so that at least they can like you can be their comfort.
Between then, our parents then, and our parents now, like parents now and parents then, do you think parents now are failing in their duties as parents?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. So no, I don't really think they are really failing. But do you know one thing I noticed on social media is that Shebi, all these people they call Pablo girlfriends. Everybody are now getting pregnant. Like you see people in relationship, it's just like, let me just not call name, but I feel like anybody viewing, if you are really a fan of TikTok, you know these people that are in a relationship, that the boy they are dating and they have a child, and the boyfriend went to a boutique to steal Timberland
For the child, like baby
for
Timberland.
himself. No, big Timberland.
Why?
Someone that is a father of a child. I don't know. So you see, that girl did not even know. She just started dating someone now. She like all of them now. Like, let me not even say. I'm not talking about the wise girls. Now I'm calling them the Pablo girlfriends. All of them that will fix frontal for their small baby.
Or you even see a child, they will wear, the one I saw is, you know, this lace that they used to do corsets.
Yeah.
You will see a child, that is what the child used for birthday. Like, are you not seeing children looking cute in children outfits?
Like honestly,
Jesus, like sometimes you'll be asking yourself, what I'm saying, like, I feel personally, my own opinion though, you said no, but for me, I feel we are really going out of what parenting should be, unlike the older generations, even our own generation. Let me take for example where I grew up in Enugu. When I leave my house and I'm going somewhere, and there is something that I do, my neighbor can wholeheartedly call me and tell me, no, this thing you're doing is not right. And it's even said in Igbo adage that ofonye adazunwa, which means one person doesn't train a child. A child is is a community that owns a child.
Yeah.
But now, let's, like, all these children that are growing up, just go to, let a child do something that is wrong, and you go and tell the child you are wrong, or you correct the child. The mother will come and beef you for correcting their child, which is not right. It's still the same thing you said about the dressing part now. How can a baby that's supposed to be wearing cute and fine, even with beads, you will be doing the person frontal, giving the person corset? Like, where is the hips for the corset? Where is the hips for the corset? The child has not even grown to that extent. You will see children like, oh more, you'll be asking yourself, even on birthdays, you see a baby that is supposed to have smooth face, the baby will be making up. For what reason? Nails, like, there is time for everything. So I feel personally that this generation, if we are not careful and we don't try to caution ourselves very well, we might lose it. And one problem is going to bring is that even people who are trying to bring up their children in the right way will still go out to meet those children that are not trained well, and they will mix influence and the rest of them. And no, like, just guess when, like, if you look at when a child, like, when majority of the children are not being trained well and few are trained well, what will happen? The majority ones will obviously influence the smaller one. So I feel personally that parenting these days, like, we have to do better. Even us that are still upcoming moms, upcoming dads, we have to really do better.
This is all these Pablo girlfriends, even those that the Pablo themselves. as you are saying now, your parents did well in making a community training,
Yeah.
but I feel like their own parents did not train them well. What I'm trying to say that
Yeah.
every generation, they are the bad ones and
Are
the
the
good
good
ones. They are the ones that
Yeah.
are trying. And it's just like our own generation now. There are some that are doing good.
well. Yeah,
There are
it's
some
true.
that
There are some children you will see that they are so respectful and
Yeah.
you're like, wow, this person's parents is, and there are some children you see or more, you'll be like, who is bringing up this child? What's going on? So I agree with your opinion actually at the end of the day, but in a way I think that maybe slightly our own generation is beginning to lose it a little bit.
yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about the second topic, about the whole thing that has been going over the internet. What happened actually happened here in Abuja, where a child was bullied in school. And if you watch that video, I will try to attach the video in this video. If you watch the video, you see that I was even thinking it was a guy that was slapping the girl. It was later that I realized that it was a girl. Kept on slapping her. Like, what could she have done? And you know that when I googled the school fees of that school, 4.8 million naira every year. That is what that means. Is a rich man's school.
Yeah.
That means even everybody that is going there, their parents are at least well-to-do to be able to afford that kind of money. Assuming my child is there and I'm paying 4-point-something million naira for tuition fee every year, then somebody is bullying my child. And the funny thing is that when that thing happened, a lot of people started speaking of that it wasn't just the girl.
Yeah.
Other people were still bullied. So what will you say about that? Like, it's still under, why I brought it up is because it's still under parenting. Like, these people's children that are bullying children in school. So I want to hear your own opinion. I will also try to, add my own.
I would say for a child being the one bullying, I would say sometimes, or like 80% is not actually the parent's fault. If you know now, I went to like a secondary boarding school. So if you know, most as a senior, I don't know if that is her senior or they are in the same class, but as a senior, we like unintentionally, I'm not giving like siding the girl. We have done wrong to a junior to like say to like, you understand?
Wrong. How?
Like
we've punished a junior in school.
Yeah, to the honest. Okay, I don't know how your own school was, but
there were people that punished, but there were people that didn't punish.
Yes, that what I'm saying. Okay,
see, I don't like. There is no problem punishing in a school. It's going extreme, like that kind of slap that girl was giving her. That one is bullying now. Like, it's two different things. It's two different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that, as I said, 80% is not actually kind of the parents' fault.
Okay.
Because there's an extent you can train a child. There's an extent you can tell the child this is wrong and this is right, and they'll go to school and do another thing. So I'll not really put all the blame on the parent. Like, it's just like you now. Your child has never stolen from you. Your child is always at home. You have trained the child, and the child goes out and see a large sum of money, maybe in the principal's this thing, and takes it. That doesn't make you a bad parent. There's an extent you have gone is when you start siding the child, that instant it makes you a bad parent. So I feel like 80% of the time, people that are the one bullying is not actually the parent's fault. So, and most of the time is schools should take responsibilities for things. One thing about having a school is acknowledging that there are wrongs everywhere. It's just like having a boarding school and say there are bullies, there are lesbianism, there are homosexual. Anybody that touches you, anybody that does this thing, come to me. Nothing will happen to you. Anybody that does this, you make a scapegoat to the person that you see. Because if you don't acknowledge that wrong can happen in a school, you just bring in students without assembling, giving advice. People will just sing song, leave without giving advice and say, oh, there are wrongdoings in every school. See if this type of thing happens to you, come. And some on this type of rich men's school, they know how to cover their ass.
Exactly.
So
that is the point.
So parents will not say, oh, this is a bad school. If bad happened to them and it's not public.
Yeah, it's not made public. They
will hide it. Yes, they will hide it.
Last.
That there is no scapegoat made. for other people to learn. And one thing with children is that when you make a scapegoat of somebody, other people will learn little by little.
Yeah.
But if there's no scapegoat made once, like I assume this one was not public now as a rich man's school, they will hide it. They'll tell
they will conceal it, so their school will look as if it's
the best. Like there's
and
no
then
bad
rich
thing
people
happen.
will keep
More
bringing
people,
their children and be paying millions.
that is one thing. So I feel like it's not, as they say, or children are also trained at home and trained in school.
Funny enough, I feel like children are even trained more in school than at home these days, because you see your child leaving school in the morning. Sometimes they even tell you that they are doing lesson. Most of them self even live as boarders in school.
Yes.
So like it's just what you said now, that schools also have like a very big part to play when it comes to the upbringing of a child. Because most times they spend a lot of time in school and there's no need concealing all these things. It's always like what you said. But I could remember me too, like my senior secondary school, I was in boarding school as well. I could remember one certain time that a prefect pushed a child, like not even a child, because we are no more kids, we are in senior secondary, but my school is just senior secondary because it's a science school. So people that are in SS3 could bully people that are in SS1 freely upon say we be seniors. Do you understand? So she pushed her inside the gutter for no reason. So, and many other punishments we were receiving that time, but at some point it stopped. The reason why it stopped was because of the intervention of a new principal, and she was a female. The first principal, is not like he didn't do well. We were even enjoying him because there was enough food and all that, but he couldn't look into the main slight things that students are doing, like seniors. They will tell us to come out when we're in SS1. We'll come out like this, like where there is sun. They'll tell us to lie down and face the sun. These people that are doing this are people's children. So I understand why you're saying that these people can actually be nice at home, like children, because children, they can be nice at home, and then when they come to school, they want to belong, and then they will change.
They will change. And see, honestly, as you said, children learn like more in school, because it's not only bullying, even teachers molesting children happen. See, one thing about having a school is to be how will I even put it, to be vigilant that bad things can happen, to protect children. So you don't say, oh, this is school, or you have camera this side, you have camera that side.
That was exactly what happened for this one. When they said, they were asking the man, like the owner of the school, okay, you said you have cameras everywhere, why is it that the camera did not capture what happened? He now said that they went to a hidden place in the cafeteria. Like, make it make sense. Why is it that you did not lock the cafeteria? Do you understand? If you know that there's no camera there, because that place will now be a breeding place for corruption and anything that is bad to be happening there, because they know that there is no camera there. So all these things, like you said, like being vigilant and watching every child, like every single thing that is happening. So I think for that one, when it comes to bullying and the rest of them, true, that is the responsibility of the parents in a way, and then the school as well. And
do you know, I want to tell you something. There's this actor who even, I don't know if he's AY that wrote it, I don't even know the person, but there's this actor, there's this popular person, I don't know if he's an actor, a musician, this, and I was like, he liked how the other girl was calm. Now I want to ask you, like, do you believe that, like, the girl that was being bullied was just being calm? She did not fight back? Because I think people on TikTok was like, if it's my child, I would train my child how to beat back. So I want to say, like, do you support being calm and reporting the person, or fighting back?
This is a very interesting question. Me personally, like when I was hearing the whole of those news, when somebody is saying that part of the reason why the girl was bullied was because the parents did not bring her up well, that the parents were supposed to teach her how to fight and all that, then I'm asking myself, are you going to school to go and start fighting? But then there is still a little bit truth in what they are saying. Just listen. Now, somebody like me now, growing up, I grew up with my grandma. My grandma will always tell me, because I got my mom's features. My mom is a very calm person. She's very quiet. So growing up, I started being too quiet to the point that somebody can do me something, I wouldn't even react at all.
Yeah.
So she called me one day and told me, see, it is one thing to be calm and it is another thing to be timid. Do you understand? She understands that I can be calm, but you shouldn't be too calm that somebody will now come and, take your right, or do some certain things to you. So now, me personally, I'm never going to tell my child to go and fight.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But I'm still going to tell my child to always stand their ground and speak the truth.
Yeah.
Do you understand? If that girl, let's for example now, if everything that happened, she just kept quiet and still came back home and didn't say anything, that is when I would say the parents were wrong. Or even if she did not report and kept on, there are some children that if you do them something now, they will follow it to the very end. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's the kind of child you train, but you're not training a fighter to go and start fighting somebody. Me, I don't think it's right, because if it's like that, everybody will be fighting now. Everybody's children will
just
be
like
fighting.
you, the person you are training to protect themselves will be the one even bullying other people.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
do you understand?
Anyway,
that's my own opinion. I really want to know, like, what do you think? Would you?
Yeah, I'm going to support yours, because like I feel, you know what, before they even surely, it was not her idea to go to that, if it was true, the hidden part of the cafeteria.
No, they said the girl called her to come.
Okay,
she didn't even know.
Okay,
Yeah.
know what? Okay. So I don't know the story, guys. I'm a social media shy person.
They play personally TikTok.
But like, yeah, I would say, I would say, as you say, standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because for someone to raise, before she raised hand on her, she must have shouted at her. And if your fellow mates, or even someone that is a senior ahead of you, shout at you in a way that shout because of man, ahead because of a boy. That's what they were
I don't even know the reason why.
Ahead because of a boy in another school. I don't know if it's true. Please, if it's not true, tell us in the comment section so we'll know the real story. As in, so I heard because of a boy in another school. So I feel like if someone that is your mate shouts at you, you should shout at the person back. It will not, if you shout at someone that is your mate back, the person will not have the hand to slap
back
you.
again.
I said slap you how many times? If someone is just like you now, if you are shouting at somebody and the person is not doing anything and the person not even talk, but the person keep quiet, you feel like you have right
to even push you to even go ahead and beat the person.
That is it. So I feel like when somebody talks to you, before even someone hits you, when someone talks to you in a way, you should know how to defend yourself. You should know how to talk back and say, see, don't shout at me. I don't do anything wrong.
That's that place that my grandma is saying, don't be timid.
Just like don't be a stupid person. Like if someone shout at you, someone tell you, are you mad? Say I'm not mad though. Did you beat anybody? Tell the person you're not mad. Say I'm not mad though, unless I don't am mad. We normally used to do that. You tell the person unless I don't am mad. So it makes someone to at least, even though the person wanted to slap you 10 times, person don't slap you once. Person think about it before.
What we are trying to say is teach your children to speak up, to speak out. See, I can be very calm, but you see, like when it comes to what has to do with me or like my own even opinions, my thoughts, if this is what I think about something, I say it is my opinion. I can be wrong. Do you understand? But don't just hold on to something and you're not saying anything because you think you are calm. That is no more calmness. It's timidity, and that is what you need.
How to fight, like the magic
no, yes.
Because on TikTok you see someone saying, if someone hits you, hit
the person back. Like this one, them no.
Your child might just be hearing hit. He will not hear if somebody hits you, and that's why he go to school. He will say hit.
They will not be the actual.
They will be the bullies. So I feel like you should just make them, even at home itself. If there's, I feel like sometimes even this speaking up for yourself starts at home. If things, especially for seniors and juniors, if something went wrong and you came back home and the senior is saying, oh, this is what this person did, let me say Udo is my junior, and our parents came back home and say, oh, this is what Udo did, not giving Udo the chance to defend herself and say, I did not do this thing or something.
You even want to hear reasons why.
You will not, like, you will just say, okay, maybe you think Udo is a kind of a troublesome person, kind of, and some people are troublesome at home, but in school they are calm. They are very quiet.
Children can be,
So if you come back home and you feel like, although your second child, no, second borns are always this thing, they are she's a troublesome person, you don't want to listen to, you believe the firstborn is right. It will give her right not to speak up for herself, not say, oh mommy, I'm not the one that did it though. My elder sister misunderstood me. It's not me that. Even in school, she will not know how to speak up for herself. But if you say, Udo, did you do that thing? If you give her time to like,
to also
to speak up, to say if she was wrong, if she goes to school, she can stand up. Because sometimes if you can talk and say your side in front of your senior at home, your classmates in school, you can actually also say your side.
That brings me to something else. Sometimes I know that children lie. Children, they lie a lot. They can even bring your head and your neighbor's head together and join it because of their lie. But then when your child complains about something, investigate about it. You don't even need to tell the child, okay, so this person did this, let me go and fight the person. Say, like, just understand where the person is coming from and go personally to investigate. Because there is every possibility that what the child is saying is true. You know, sometimes now, because that same bullying thing that happened, some people were saying that there was a girl that said that when she told her mom told her that she was lying.
That when she was being bullied.
Yes, she told her mom that she was being bullied in school. Her mom told her that she was lying. Me personally, like I said, I have seen scenarios where children lie a lot. But then get what they are saying and use your hand personally to investigate, to be sure if what they are saying is true or not. So is there any other thing?
Concerning this thing you just said now, a little bit, I was like, one thing as being parents is that if you know your child, you start judging them by what you know them as. Maybe why she said, your lies, because maybe you thought your child, maybe at home your child always lies, she lies about little things. But it's not good, like, even though you know your child as someone that lie a lot or does little things at home, because sometimes children, as I say, they make mistakes sometimes. It's about continuously correcting them. So, but if they come and tell you something and you don't give them like the opportunity to tell you that to make you their comfort system, to know, you can believe them sometimes. Just call them, you're lying. Next time they will not come to you. Even though a teacher abused them,
happens in adults, talk more of children. Once you just repel someone from what they are telling you, they wouldn't want to come to tell you again. It's just like you now being my friend. You're always telling me something very secretive about you, and anytime you tell me, I'll be like, you'll not come back to tell me again.
True.
So I understand.
Should you advise them?
That's actually the last thing I want to do before we conclude.
Okay.
So in conclusion, maybe I should start first with the advice. So my advice is, I'll always go with the Bible. The Bible said, spare the rod and spoil a child. So if you spare the rod, I don't mean you should flog the child, but always correct the child. You understand? Anytime a child goes wrong, correct the child. That is the most important thing about parenthood. If I'm to say, I'm not a parent yet, but this is like my own opinion. Do you understand? And another thing the Bible says as well is that it is only a parent that loves a child that corrects that child. You not correcting the child, it doesn't show that you love the person. There are some parents, that's what they think, like when you pamper the child and you don't correct the child, that is when you love the person. You don't want the person to go through what you've gone through. What have you gone through? Do you understand? Correct the child. That is what shows that you love the child. Make sure you correct your children. Correcting your children doesn't mean you hate them. It actually means that you love them. So that is it.
Okay, my own advice is that I feel like this, which step your child is taking, you should also always tell them the danger ahead. Like, let me just say a little story. When I was going to university, my dad used to say, if a lecturer make a move at you, don't say no instance, I will never go for it. Don't say, call me, just say, I'll give you a reply later. He has already told me, and they did. A lecturer knew I was 15 years old, my course advisor, and called me to his office and started telling me, let me be your first boyfriend. I had to tell my dad and my elder sister that wrote a long, respectful message. Honestly, long respect. So I feel like when you tell your child the danger ahead in a place, like, see, you can be a bully. You can be the one being bullied. Don't tell them, so you can be the bully sometimes. You can be the one being bullied. You can there's lesbianism, there's homosexual, there's rapists. Wherever you tell them the danger in everything, like if you're going to invest, if you're staying in a law, they are this, they are that, it makes them conscious. But if you just like make them go to a next part in their life without telling them the danger, some of them, they are not aware, they are even the bully. They're not even aware of, they just think, they think that this person is their junior one at all. They think, oh yeah, like my junior sister, I used to slap, and mommy did not do anything. So if you tell them the danger ahead, that you can be a bully. If you hit somebody, that I'm not even going to tell you about, I'm not going to give the same advice she gave. So that is it. If wherever step your child is taking in life, tell them the danger, correct them, tell them this is what will happen. If you are hitting a child, that is like, you're not punishing the person normally as a senior, like kneeling down, you did something wrong, then that one is okay. But if you are hitting a child with anything, even slapping a child that did nothing wrong with you, you're a bully. Correct them, tell them all these things. You can also be bullied. Tell them, see, there are teachers that touches girls. So tell them all these things. It helps them. Don't just allow your child go to an expensive school or a federal school or a government school without telling them all these dangers in university, in primary school, even in your workplace. Because they even said there are also bullies in workplaess. People dressed as
everywhere.
So that is
in church itself,
in fancy areas and like as fancy like this thing, and saying that, oh, I'm your senior in this office, I'm your senior in this. So just guide your child, do the best you can, because no matter how you train them to not be this, where even though you have trained them before, oh, don't bully somebody,
at the end where they will have to take their own decision by themselves.
So you should just try and guide your child. So I feel like when your child is going to any stage, even though you don't have child now, you should just know that
even though you don't have child like children, like see as they give advice. But this is our opinions, actually.
That you should just advise them before they go to any stage in their life. It helps, like it really helps.
So this is a very very nice discussion. Thank you, Stephanie, for being in my channel.
You're welcome to see me again.
She said the next time we'll see her again, she needs to be tush. She doesn't need to be like this at home.
But I needed to give you guys my opinion.
So thank you for watching. Do well to subscribe, like, and comment, and see you in our next video. Bye.